there was like a pressure sitting on our chest all the time, constantly. And I physically feel that is gone now.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, it's just been a game changer, and I'm so happy.
Well, welcome Tracy to the podcast.
Thank you.
Whenever I listen to other podcasts and people are like, "Welcome to the show," I'm like, "Ooh, show." I kind of like how that sounds, and I'm like, that feels so fancy. I don't know why it doesn't feel like a show. Like to me, a show is like Ellen DeGeneres, right? And I'm
Yeah, I
like
agree.
here in my like technically pajamas still. You guys can't see my pajama bottoms right now, but
Same. Bottom
yeah,
half. Bottom half is
yes.
pajamas.
What do they say? Are like professional on the top, party on the bottom, or something with
Yeah,
like
I guess
Zoom
so.
calls.
Yeah, it's like a mullet, but for Zoom
Oh
calls.
my God, that's hilarious. Oh, that's a great
Business on the
metaphor.
top, party on the bottom.
That's what it
Love it.
is. Yes, you nailed it. Awesome. Okay, so why don't you tell everybody just a quick like, you know, um what's it called? Notes version of like what you love to photograph and what kind of photography business you do have.
Yeah. So my fiance and I own a wedding photo and video company. We do other stuff other than just weddings. We like to work in the fitness world with those fitness athletes. We like to do like branding stuff and special events for the city of Woodstock. Um, but our like bread and butter in the summer, like spring, summer, fall, obviously is weddings. And yeah, so we love it. I am primarily a photographer. That's kind of where I started. And then Tom, my fiance, is a videographer. So we both kind of like learned from each other, and we kind of joined our business together. And yeah, so we offer both photo and video packages, and as well a hybrid package, so you can hire us for both, which is really helpful when it comes to weddings, so we're not stepping on each other. We already have like this nice workflow. It's great. So yeah, that's the stuff that I love. Like couples love, I just love it all.
That's awesome. Is it your favorite
Yeah.
thing to get booked for? If you guys are like booked together on the same day, you're like, yeah, we get
Oh
to
yeah.
hang out, make money
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. It's so much fun. And like we never get sick of each other, which is really nice.
Aw, I love
And
that.
probably for the best too.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Awesome. And then so let us know, what are you currently outsourcing and getting help with? And actually, well, let I think this is a good thing for people to know. So first, tell everybody when you signed up for OMI, and then when you finally started to implement, and why you were like, okay, oh shit, I think I'm gonna
Yeah.
actually start implementing.
Okay, so I bought the course last October.
2022,
So it's
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
2022. Yes, we're in 2023 now.
Yeah.
I know, like time is just flying. I can't believe it. Okay, so I bought it in October of 2022, and I like actually got to work right away. I in the course when you say to like print all the like the workbook out and like bind it and stuff, I'm like, yes, I'm doing that. I printed it out. I got it bound. It's amazing. And I was going through it and I'm like, hey, wait, I actually need to like have a plan though of like what I know I want to outsource stuff, but I don't know what yet because we were just at the end of our like actually our first full wedding season.
Hmm.
And I was still working, Tom was still working full time. And so
Oh,
like
like
we knew
another
that,
job.
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
so we knew that we couldn't like sustain what we were doing if we were taking on more weddings. And I knew that we were going to take on more weddings.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, I got to figure out what I want to outsource first. So then that kind of like put the course on a little bit of a back burner. And then I'm like, okay, I got to figure out my plan. And then, well, I don't know. I'm feeling okay about editing. I really like editing a lot. So the procrastination was with culling. So then I thought, okay, well, I'll do that. So then I think it was like February, maybe I picked the course back up and I'm like, okay, now I really need to like get started, right? Like now's a good time. It's off season and I've got the time. And I actually went from my full-time job, I dropped down to casual. So
Mm.
because I wanted to have more time for our business. Um, so I was working much less. So I had way more time and I was like, yes, let's go, let's do it. And I went through the course and I went as far as to like get my job description written, and I signed up for oh, I can't even remember the website to like find my
Mm-hmm.
person. And then my sister reached out to me and she said, "Hey, like you're looking at hiring somebody, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she and I share a brain. Like we're very much the same person, especially like aesthetically, like looking at things, we have the same taste. And so she was like, "Well, why don't you just hire me? Like I just live right around the corner. Like you can just drop off a hard drive or, you know, whatever. I can come over for an afternoon and like just work together with you." And I thought, hey, you know what? That's perfect. I don't have to go through and hire somebody else. That's amazing. So this is like over a time span from like February, I want to say, until like June. So it wasn't like action was happening and like
Mm.
I'm just like blazing through. I'm like making steps, but not
In your
like,
mind, like,
yeah,
yeah,
like I
yeah,
was
like
just moving
strategizing in your
forward
mind,
in my
but
mind. Yeah.
yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, that's a really good plan. Like, that's wonderful. And so wedding season starts and we do our first wedding, which was an elopement. It was super easy. And I edited it the next day and got it to them like right away.
Yeah.
And I'm
The
like,
story
yes,
of all the
the
first
start.
shoots at the start of the season, like for every
Right?
photographer. Yeah.
I'm not behind. It's going to be amazing. And then I did our next wedding, which was a photo and video wedding, meaning we had a film and a wedding gallery to edit and send to the couple. And then the next week was the same thing. And then the week after that was the same thing. And I thought, holy crap, I can't, like, I don't have time. Like, in my mind, when I was planning out all the culling and outsourcing that, I was only thinking photo. I don't know why, but I was only thinking photo. And then when it came down to it, our biggest pain point was video. Like filming filming was fine, but culling and editing the film takes a lot longer than I think we remember it taking. Like
Yeah.
when we're in the season, we're like, oh yes, this takes so long. And then you're out of it. And you're like, oh, it shouldn't take that long. If I find a good song, it'll be fine. It
Yeah.
takes a really long time.
What you just
So
said is so relatable. Like it's a
yeah,
phenomenon all of us experience. It's like we like when we're separated from the event, the pain, we're not in the pain anymore. So we actually
yeah,
don't remember it. We're like, oh, next year will be fine. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was really eye-opening, I think, because back in February, like I said, I was like, oh, I'm gonna prepare myself, right? I'm gonna get our business right to where I want it so that it's not such a pain point for us. So it's back to like how we started when we like loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had all these good intentions, and then I didn't realize just how stressed out I was gonna be. And both of us too, because like Tom is still working full time, a separate job.
Mm-hmm.
And so me being casual, I have more time to take on more work with our business. So I would say I'm full time in our business now and just very much casual with my other job. Um, but Tom is like our lead editor for video. And he was coming home and like he works 7 to 3, and then he comes home and he edits for like 4 or 5 hours. And then we sit on the couch for an hour, go to bed, rinse and repeat all
Mm-hmm.
summer long. And I just saw like the light draining from his eyes. And it was really upsetting because he is very much full of energy and wants to go out and do things all the time. And he was coming home and just like, Trace, I have nothing in the tank. Like, I can't, we need a solution. So I had gone through parts of the OMI course about editing. I still haven't gone through it all, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like I'd gone through the culling part. And so I kind of had an idea of like what it means to like find your person, to source out your person and like hire them and like to train them, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
to like
The
make them
key
a second you.
principles. The key
Yes,
principles. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I had that idea in my head. So I thought, well, our friend is a really good video editor. Like he's incredible. And I thought, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe he's too busy. Um, he's got another job, he's got 3 kids. I thought, I'm not gonna ask him. Like, that's no, it's fine. And then we said it in passing one time, and he's like, "Oh yeah, haha, I'd love to. That would be fun or whatever." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." But he said it kind of sarcastically, and I thought, does he mean that he wants to edit for us or no? So we
Yeah.
never we didn't do anything about it. It was kind of always in our back pocket, but we never moved forward. Literally the only thing holding us back from starting with him, and he could have started right at the beginning of the season. The only thing holding us back was making that step and actually seriously reaching out to him and saying, "Hey, do you think that this is something that you can do? Even just a trial period, like you can take on 2 weddings, just try it, see, and then we can go from there, make a plan." We didn't do that. And so we were so stressed. And then when it came down to it, we were like, no, we need to like actually do something about this. So we reached out to him and he said, yeah, sure, give me a couple. And oh my gosh, our whole summer changed. Like I can't even begin to explain the emotional feeling of like the weight that was lifted off, but I actually physically, both of us felt lighter. Like there was like a pressure sitting on our chest all the time constantly, and I physically feel that is gone now.
Mm.
So yeah, it's just been a game changer and I'm so happy.
Oh my gosh, you're such a great storyteller. Like I was
Oh,
just
thank
like,
you.
give me my popcorn. This is like all these like
I love to
dramatic little
talk, so
moments and like, oh my gosh. Okay, that what you just said sparked like a one-liner in me. And I'm like, are you just one question away from totally changing your life and having so much more time
for
freedom
real.
available to you? Like one question, like you said, you're like,
Yeah.
the thing that changed was us asking him, hey, are you actually interested?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
And for others, it could
Yeah,
be just like putting the job interview out there.
yeah, the job posting out there. Yeah.
Or yeah, the job
Yeah.
posting. Yeah. Like
And it
it's
just creates that momentum like out of an action. You know, when you just like, and sometimes we put off doing something like laundry, let's say,
yeah.
and we're like, oh, it's just literally it's gonna take me like hours to do in our
Yeah.
head. We're like making a mountain out of it. But then we're like, okay, let me just like bring it upstairs. Let me watch something while doing it. It takes 15 minutes. And we're like, what the
Yeah.
hell? I could have been doing this the whole time. And then you feel lighter, right? It's like
Yeah.
so I love that you shared how you experienced that along the way and how you had that like turning point.
Yeah.
And I'm so freaking happy for you that you literally were experiencing that overwhelm in the middle of busy season and you were
Mhm.
still able to do something about it in the middle of busy season. And let me ask you a question. Did it take you more time to train someone how to get the task done how you want it compared to if you did it yourself?
It was way less time.
Exactly.
It was like
People,
like
yeah.
way less.
What would you say to a
Mind you,
photographer? Yeah, go. Keep
he
talking.
was
Yeah.
he was already an editor, right? So like he already
Yeah.
knew, like it's not like I had to start from ground zero and like train him how to use the program and all. Like that was, if that was the case, there's absolutely no way it would have happened. Like that would have
Yeah.
been a lot of work. But like he already had the skills. He's our friend, so he knows our brand. He knows the films that we're putting out. So that was great. And it was just really nice to be able to say, here, like I just wanted to see what he could do. We really didn't have like any um like pressure on him to say like this is
Mm-hmm.
what we're delivering to the client. We just gave him all the footage and said, hey, just like put something together. We trust you and see what you can do. And it turned out that it was actually better than what we could have done.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So
Oh
it
my
like up
gosh.
leveled our brand so much.
That's amazing. While freaking having a weight lifted off your shoulders.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get more into like the numbers, the details of
Okay.
like Okay, so how many hours do you think you've saved so far? And so has it been about a month since you started, or like 5, 6
Yeah,
weeks?
well, now I think it's been 2 months. So I think
Okay,
we started at the beginning of August.
perfect. Okay,
It was like end of July, beginning of August.
perfect. Yeah.
So,
So give us a breakdown of like how many hours you like
yeah.
on average you saved.
Okay. So I would say for each wedding, it varies based on like the deliverables. So the length of the film, if they wanted speeches, ceremony edit, that kind of stuff. So obviously that takes longer. But on average, I would say it takes us at least 20 hours to edit one wedding film. And
Mhm.
so we have given our editor 3 weddings so far. He's working on the fourth. So that's about 60 hours that we've saved so far. And
Yeah.
honestly, like he edits way faster than we ever could anyway. So just the simple fact that he's editing for us is saving us time, but also he's saving us time because he's way faster. So we're
Yeah.
delivering a lot quicker. Um,
How much quicker?
oh, like so we delayed it. So we had deadlines that we were not going to meet if we were going to edit ourselves. So at that point, we
Yeah.
were like, we need him to help us. Otherwise, we're going to be late and we're going to have to like apologize
Mm.
profusely. Um, and so like we gave it to him and he got it done in like 3 or 4 days. And we're like, what in the world? You just pulled that out of nowhere. It was amazing. And yeah, so I think now, like, once we have a better system in place, well, I think right now we're just trying to play catch up a little bit. We
Yeah.
haven't missed any deadlines, which is amazing.
That's
But
huge. Yeah.
yeah, I know it's great. We definitely would have if we didn't
Yeah.
hire him. Um, but yeah, like I think next year for sure, like we're once our films or weddings are filmed, we're gonna put it on the hard drive and just give it to him right away. That way he can get started and we can like pretty much guarantee of like a 2 week turnaround
That's
for your wedding
incredible
film,
for
which is
video.
insane. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's
yeah,
amazing. So like your quality of life goes up, client
yeah,
experience goes up, like,
yeah.
and that is just
And the
that's
quality of the
incredible.
films are way better too.
There you go. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh. Okay, so
yeah,
now let's say so you saved about 60 hours so far. He's working on the fourth film right
yeah.
now.
So about
Um
60 to 80.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what has been your investment?
So we pay him per project because like that's just how we had it set up instead of like an
Hmm.
hourly rate. Um, so we pay for each wedding roughly around $500, depending on the deliverables again. So for those 3 weddings that he's edited for us, in total, we paid $1,500. Um, so if we just did the math of like saving 60 hours, divide 1,500 by 60, we're at $25 an hour to save
Amazing.
all that time.
And is that worth it to you?
Oh, hell yeah. No, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because now I have time to like to work on the photos as well and not actually have that mental stress in the background of like, oh shoot, I now that this gallery is done, oh, I feel so good and happy, but crap, we have the film still.
Yeah. It's like you never feel caught up.
Yeah,
And that feeling is like so stressful. The
yeah,
For like months and months and months not feeling caught up.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And we also had like in the summer, we don't just focus on the wedding. So we have like all the special events for the city of Woodstock. We've got like a bunch of fitness clients and branding clients and stuff. So it's not just the weddings that we're working on. We also have a million other projects too. So just having like those wedding films taken care of is like unbelievably relieving to just not have to worry about that.
How do you feel that you show up differently now that you have that weight lifted off your shoulders for all of your other clients?
I feel a lot more intentional and yeah, I don't know. I just feel like very excited. Like, not to say that I wasn't intentional before. And I was definitely like I'm always very present with our couples, but just having that mental, like, load off like, oh crap, we're at this wedding. Now this is another one to add to the
Yeah.
list, right? Now, when we get home, we're going to have to dump all our footage and like it's going to sit there collecting dust for a few weeks because we've got so many others that we have to work on. Now I'm just kind of like, I can't wait to get home
Mm.
and put all this, like go through all the footage and look at it all. And I can make like our own little reels and stuff for Instagram. Like I can have that time to be creative and like market for
Yeah.
ourselves, for social media and for other clients, and just give our couples like extra little reels and stuff. I have the time to do that. So
It's a full circle moment because you said you're like, I really just want to get our business to a place of how it felt when we first started. That
yeah,
excitement, that like
yeah.
energy and love for our business, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's like it like felt suffocating for some time. And
Yeah,
then you're back, you just said it. It's like you got yourself here. You did it. You're like back
yeah,
to the I love it again because I let go
yeah,
of the shit that gave me a decrease of energy.
exactly.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you're amazing. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud
Thank
of you
you.
guys. And is there anything else that you wanted to mention? Oh, actually, I did want to ask because I think I remember when you were asking me, like we were just chatting back and forth. You're like, I'm thinking about signing up for Omi, but we're also thinking about getting help with our video stuff. But like, would
Yeah.
we learn how to outsource our video stuff? And what is your like reply to that? Like, because I don't specifically teach in the course,
No,
here is step by step how to outsource your video. But
right.
why, like, is the course, does it give you like the principles you need to then be pretty much know how to outsource anything you want?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like now I'm kind of thinking like, oh well, like what else can I outsource? Like
Mm,
there's so much, like I look around my house yesterday, I spent like 3 hours cleaning my house. And I thought like, well dang, I have so much more time if I outsource this. So like it kind of becomes like a I'm like a one track mind now for outsourcing. Like I'm thinking, okay, now what else can I do? Like my house cleaning, my laundry, like can I outsource like I was gonna say my dog walking, but I love that, so I'm not gonna do that.
yeah.
Like, yeah, there's just so many things, and it really is like a lot of transferable skills. Like, um, having the photo side to my business, it was very helpful. Obviously, having the course and like learning how to like hire a color or hire an editor, and
Mhm.
but like it was very much transferable over
Yes.
to the video side, or really to anything. It just gets you. It's instead of just learning skills, like yes, you're learning skills of like how this is how you like do the Lightroom catalog and this is
Hmm.
how you know um you're also learning like a mindset. It's like a total mindset shift because I remember you said like you, we think of our business as our baby, but like we can't be like spending all of our time and like we have to it's we can't let our business run us basically. Like we're the ones that created the business because we love it and because we wanted to be our own boss and because we wanted to like do whatever we wanted. Really, we want to make a lot of money for ourselves, for our family. um you know, we have all these goals, and then we get into running our own business and we get run down and stressed out and question why we do this. And I find that the Omi course really helped shift my mindset into like putting that fire under my ass, basically, of like, no, you can get this time back. Like, this is not how your business is supposed to be run. Like, there's other options, there's other ways.
Ugh, I love that. And I love that
Yeah.
you're now looking through the lens of how can I buy my time back more? How can I buy my
Yeah.
time back more? And I'm
Yeah.
just so excited to see and get updates like along your journey of like, hey, I let go of this now. I let go of this now.
Yeah.
And oh, it's just the best. Like we just got I just hired like a personal assistant quarter time, like literally not even part time. And like literally she does our cooking or cleaning, runs our errands, does grocery runs. In the last 3 weeks, she saved us 60 hours. Like it's been amazing. I feel like
God.
I'm just like living the life. We gave ourselves this like gift of like trying this out right now because I just really want to have full focus to like focus on the Omi launch. I wanted to have full focus on like enjoying time with Ben as he's transitioning into like
Yeah.
Montessori. And I have had so much calm and spaciousness. And I get to now I'm sick and I can't
Yeah.
imagine what I would be doing, how it would feel if I was like super sick and still having to have the stress of cooking and cleaning and then
Yeah.
getting everything ready for the Omi launch. Like I actually get to rest instead of stress.
Yeah.
And it's
I
like,
love that for you.
oh, the
That's
best. So
amazing.
I could see that for you. Like get someone even just like 6-7 hours a week to help with cooking and cleaning. You're gonna see
Yeah.
how majestic you're gonna feel.
I
Like,
know. Like, and that's the thing too. Like when I was working full time at my other job, I was like coming home from work. Well, coming home. I worked from home, so I
mhm.
wasn't coming home. But I was like decompressing from work. And then I would have to cook dinner, but then I would also have to have time to like edit and do all the stuff for our business, all the back end stuff. And my list for back end stuff was growing so much, like a new website and like all these like fun
Yeah,
ideas of like things I could do with social media and like all the number of social media accounts that we have now. And I couldn't focus on any of that because I was doing all of like my life
the
stuff,
catch up
like
stuff.
laundry and cooking,
Yeah,
all of that. I'm like, what? How do I do this? Something's got to give. So,
yeah. And I think it's like something that's coming to mind right now is, I think there's this like feeling of thinking that only like rich, wealthy people can have that kind of support of like having someone
mhm,
cook and clean for them.
yeah,
Um, but I think because we've evolved so quickly with technology, because we have these incredible opportunities where we literally can have businesses on the internet, we no longer have to only service the local community we live in. We get to like
yeah,
travel for work. People can discover us from wherever. We can have like digital offers if we want. Then our lives and our income can expand so much if we buy our
totally.
time back that it just makes sense. It's just a new way of living. And I think I'm really wanting to encourage people to just like think that way for a little bit and see like, hey, maybe I can get 5 hours of support of like someone doing my laundry and cooking. Like, and you're
Yeah,
not a bad person. You don't have to feel guilty. There's people out there literally begging to be hired for a gig like that for extra cash. There's people that are like,
totally.
I'm a stay-at-home mom and I just need to break some extra cash. I need to do something outside of the house. Like, give me
Yeah.
that. And I literally just posted a job posting in my local Facebook group and we found someone and she's like super excited to be here. So like don't
Oh,
assume just because you hate laundry and cooking that no one else wants to do it and then it's like
right.
you're like they're slaving away for you. That's not true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like people
And
want it.
another way, so I guess this is outsourcing too. We bought a robot vacuum that empties itself and mops.
It's amazing. I
So,
love that you're saying this.
like, honestly, though, we have a dog and he sheds so much. Like, he's
Oh,
like
I
a
thought you said
lab
he
husky
shits
mix.
so much. I
Oh,
thought you said
no, he
I thought
sheds.
you were like
He
he
also
shits so
shits
much
so
so our
much. He
vacuum
does.
needs to clean it up in the house. Okay,
Oh,
sheds,
God, can
people. She
you
said
imagine?
sheds.
I would need to hire a house cleaner. That's for sure. No, he sheds his fur. So, but like I was vacuuming almost every day for like at least 45 minutes every day, all over the house. And Tom was like, well, why don't we just get a Roomba? Like,
That's amazing. Yes.
obviously, like, why wouldn't I?
Obviously.
And so we got one and it was game changer. And then we were like, well, we have to empty it every day. And that's just like sometimes I forget and then it's not picking up the dust and everything as well. So then we got another one that empties itself, which
Oh
was
my God.
amazing.
You really are like
And then,
thinking differently. I love this.
right? And then we just now upgraded to one that mops as well.
That's
So
so good.
yeah,
Oh my
it's
gosh.
great.
I love
So
it.
yeah, there's a way to outsource your house cleaning as well. Get a
Yeah.
Roomba.
Okay, I have one more question for you, and
Okay.
it's about those that, so something that's coming to me right now is the fear of like, number one, like investing in Omi. And then on top of that, knowing that after you invest in Omi, there's going to be more investments to make with whether you choose to hire a VA overseas first, or get an editor or someone to help you cull, right? Like, I know that some people are like, oh, I want this so badly, but I'm just like, I know I'm gonna have to like put money on the line at first. Like, what would you say to those people that are on the fence about signing up because they're scared of just initially letting go of that money?
I heard somewhere once that the best, like if you have extra cash in your business, the best investment is always education. You can always deal with like your old crappy camera for another season if you had to. You can limp it along and make it work, you know? But education is honestly priceless because it's going to go with you. And this is education, but it's also like mindset, like a whole lifestyle mindset shift. So yeah, like I don't know. I just think that it's the things that you learn in the course go with you and they can transition you through so much stuff in your life that it totally makes sense to just make that investment. Like for me, I didn't do anything about it, obviously, with the course until August. So the course is always going to be there. Like you're always going to have access to all the lessons and everything.
Yeah, to go at your own pace.
Exactly. And the community too, like the OMI Facebook group and everything, like everyone is so supportive and helpful. Like you don't even have to go into the course and then you get access to this group and everyone is so supportive and comes up with such great ideas and they're so encouraging. Like that it's not just paying for the course. Like you're paying for your education, you're paying for your mindset, you're paying for this community that's going to be with you and friends that you're going to make and connections in this business that very much feel like this business can be very like solitary. Like it's just you, right? You're just going to a wedding and then you come home and then you edit. You don't really get to connect a lot with other photographers in the community unless you're really reaching out in Facebook groups or online and things like that. And when you join this course, then you get the access to the group. So I think
And a like-minded group where you're not scared that they'll be, like trolling or complaining. It's a quality group full of people that are freedom driven. They are on the same like track and know what's possible and they don't want to settle. And you get to surround yourself with those people and community does shift like where you evolve to 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, one more thing is that I know that some people in the industry say like, oh, don't worry, I don't outsource. I do it all myself. Don't worry, I'm still editing away. I've got this big long list, but it's just me working on it and making it sound like it's a really good thing that, and it can be for them. Maybe that works for them. But for us, for sure, like it was much better that we hired an editor because the quality of stuff that we are putting out now is much better than we ever could have done. And I heard somewhere that when you buy a Gucci purse, you don't expect like Gucci to be like stitching the purse. You know what I mean? Like you don't expect whoever owns this
the
like
designer,
big company,
the owner,
you don't expect them to be the ones that are like making this, handcrafting this item for you, and that's why you're paying so much. So I don't know. I think it's funny. It's a different way of looking at it. Because I think as a good business owner, it's really important to know, and as a leader, it's really important to know where your limits are. And if you can find somebody who is better than you or who you can train to be you or as good as you, I think that's a really excellent business decision.
Yeah, because do you think Gucci would be able to come up with all the designs that people feel so pulled and drawn to and do you think they could be marketed so well if he was here? I don't even know Gucci, but
I don't know.
I don't know, but
I don't know.
If he was just slaving away, it wouldn't be Gucci. It wouldn't be a brand. It would be some random, like off to the side word of mouth thing. And he probably wouldn't be earning as much because it's not as reputable and yeah, that's a perfect example. Thank you so much for sharing
Yeah.
that. So,
No problem.
and I've had another student, Nicole Johnson, who was my client first as me being her wedding photographer. And I even asked her, I'm like, how did you feel knowing that I outsourced? Like, did you think that I was less of an artist or something? And she's like, no, I actually thought you had your shit together more. You were more established. If you had like a team helping you out, we thought it would be like better taken care of. Like we wouldn't be
Mhm.
waiting so long for our images. Like, and I also had that fear. And I used to always like proudly say, I do everything myself. This is like a
Yeah.
boutique experience. I do everything myself. But I'm like, but I was like exhausted and not even as creative as I am nowadays. So yeah,
Yeah,
thank you so much for sharing that,
of course.
Tracy.
No problem.
Okay, this has been like, you know what? Like I meant for this to be rapid fire, but I also rather go through life just fucking going with the flow. If the energy is there, the
Yeah.
conversation is there, like why bottleneck it? So like this was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing so much. You're such a great storyteller. And if anyone wants to connect with you, like either say thank you so much, you literally changed my perspective, or hey, I have a question, or just to
Yeah.
like see your guys' work, like where can they find you?
Yeah. So my personal Instagram, I call it my personal Instagram, but I still share my work there. Is Tracey, Tracey, and my last name is Shoot, Schut. So that's my personal Instagram. And then our business is Blackmore Media, and we actually separated our brand so that our Blackmore Media is just our branding, our events, our fitness stuff, and we have Blackmore Weddings now, which you can find us online. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok and all that good stuff.
Amazing. So you weren't lying. You're
Yeah,
like, I have a shit ton of
yeah.
IG
I
accounts
hate
and I want to
I
get
hate
creative on
TikTok.
them.
Yeah, I hate TikTok, but like I've heard that good things happen there, so I'm trying.
Good things happen there. That's so funny. That should be their slogan. Good things happen here.
It's true. Weird things can just pop
Oh
off
man.
and just
Or
get
you've
popular.
heard that good things happen here. It's true. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Tracy.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
Okay, so after we finished recording the podcast episode with Tracy, I got a DM from her on Instagram that I'm like, okay, I need to just add this into the podcast because it's hilarious and also mind blowing and amazing at the same time. So she literally messaged me. She's like, hey, oh my God. Okay, so after our Zoom call today, I looked at my robot vacuum app and it has stats on how many minutes it has cleaned for us. Since getting the vacuum at the beginning of September, so pretty much she's had it only for a month. It has vacuumed and mopped for a total of 35 hours. And she put a laughing emoji. She's like, so that's 35 hours I outsourced and got back. And oh my gosh, I love that. She's like thinking through that lens now. And yeah, there's so many fun ways to like gamify outsourcing. And I just love that she shared that with me. So I thought that was so funny and a little mind blowing. And maybe some of you are also now going to get this crazy ass Roomba to save you so much of that time. Yeah, hope you enjoyed that little bonus anecdote. Yay! Thank you so much for hanging out with me and tuning into this episode. If you got value out of it, please feel free to message me on Instagram at Sarah Monica Photo. That's Sarah no H, Monica with a K photo, to let me know. I get so freaking energized hearing from others that what I've said has had a positive impact on their lives. Also, make sure to hit subscribe to the Shine and Thrive podcast to never miss an episode. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm sending you all the productive vibes your way so you have the best week ever.